One of my goals last year was to travel more, so I ended up going on 8 different trips across the US. The first, Houston, Texas, the place where I reunited with friends I hadn't seen in almost 2 years. It was one of the cheapest and warmest places to fly in mid-March, which is why we picked it, not realizing that it's not the most walkable city. While we had a packed trip visiting all the museums, the part I remember the most was sitting in the hotel room drinking cheap wine, swapping stories, and eating snacks from the local market. It showed me that place doesn't matter, as long as you're with the right people. Then it was a quick weekend getaway to see my parents on the East Coast. They had moved since I left home, so it's always surreal to see them in a house that isn't the one I grew up in, surrounded by new furniture I didn't know. I wandered along the beach thinking how much things have changed, and wondering how my life ended up the way it did. Next was Grand Marais, Minnesota, a small town on the shores of Lake Superior. It was the most outdoorsy and adventurous trip by far, as I got bitten by more mosquitoes than I thought possible, and was worn out from hiking every day. I also ate so much fish that I haven't really eaten much since then. But it was so peaceful, feeling like I was at the edge of the world. Near the end of the summer, I traveled to Des Moines, Iowa, to relive a summer long past. The over 100-degree heat index made it suffocating to be outside, and nothing felt quite the same as how I remembered it. What I've realized from my trips is that trying to do everything means you don't have time to enjoy anything, and that it's okay to take breaks in between. And then it was off to Cincinnati, Ohio, to visit a friend in her hometown. I was right in time for the fall colors, and the hills surrounding the city were awash in reds and yellows. We had a lovely day downtown where we saw the orchestra perform with George Takei as the guest speaker. I also ended up trying a grilled cheese donut before I left, a crazy concoction that is both sweet and savory. A month afterwards, it was Chicago, Illinois. I watched as the city slowly lit up at night while taking one of the boat architecture tours. I spontaneously bought tickets to see Beetlejuice and really enjoyed it. And most importantly, another reunion with old friends as we toured the Art Institute, ate deep dish, and played rounds and rounds of cards while eating store-bought cake. And then it was 2 trips in December, the first for my cousin's wedding. A quick hello goodbye to extended family, and then I was off to see more family for the holidays. After an overnight flight delay to end the year, I was ready to curl up and not travel again for a couple months. I used to think that traveling meant you had to go to all these big, exciting destinations. But now I'm realizing it's more about finding new experiences than caring about where they're at. It's about the people I'm with and the things I learn along the way. So keep exploring. Even if it's just a place an hour away from where you live that you've never been to, it's still going to be a great trip.